Air Chris Golick was at the Golden Knights Captain Skate over the weekend, and we'll hear all about it, his insight into who's making an impression coming your way next on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. You could also find us on X, at Tony Dasco, at TD Chris G, at Locked On VGK.
I still laugh when I write here that I haven't said it yet. It's weird.
You're on X, and I'm on X. Yeah, well. And Chris, you're the only media member that I believe that I saw over the past weekend covering the Captain Skate at City National. First was that video that you posted of Jack Eichel and Pavel Dorofeev. What skills were they working on?
So at the end of the session, so we're talking about Saturday's session now. For about the first hour, the teams were broken up into offense and, well, they first did some stations and then they basically busted up into the offense and the defense. Pietrangelo took charge of the defensive side, the skaters that were out there just doing different drills and stuff like that. And then the other side, you had players kind of pairing off and working with one another on different skill sets. And Eichel and Dorofeev spent the last 30, 35, 40 minutes together just working on various things. And I mean, credit Dorofeev for finding the right guy to learn from. I got a little quick video. I can give you an example of what I was checking out here. So what was cool about those is you also had the equivalent of like a shooter tutor in the net. So all you had was like the 5-hole exposed in the 4 corners, and just watching these guys just pick in the corner every single time they shoot. My heart breaks for NHL goalies watching these guys shoot, but watch that Eichel video, watching him dance between the little cones right there, and then just ringing him off the post, hitting him in the top shelf. It's so much fun to watch. I love it.
It sounded like he hit post a couple of times.
He did. He did.
Heard the clanging there. That was pretty interesting. Another player I know that you've been highlighting is Max Comtois. Was that him on the ice with Phil Kessel?
That was on Friday. So you had Comtois, Kessel, and then almost the entire team pretty much. I think Marchessault was the only one that I recalled not being here in town yet. Ooh, contract holdout. There you go. We're not.
He's holding out. He's holding out.
Stop it.
Yeah, he is.
What's happening? Stop it.
Wait. Is that a Colorado shirt? What are you wearing?
No, I don't do matching shirts. Disney.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, Colorado. I guess you got the O at the end, and it's Monday. But yeah, no. Friday session was pretty cool. Friday session was much more competitive. So you had the players doing some drills to start to get their legs back under them, and then they did this 2-on-2 drill. It was a short ice drill where basically the nets were on the blue lines, but facing each other. So all you had is the neutral zone. And Logan Thompson and Aiden Hill were working their butts off. They were not basically selling out on anything. They were giving 110% efforts on every single shot. I actually ran into Logan Thompson at the rookie game on Saturday, and I said, "Hey, you look a little tired after practice on Friday." And yeah, his words were, it was a long one, and they wore him out pretty good. But point being is, this is going to be a very friendly-ish, but very high level of competition between Aiden Hill and Logan Thompson for starts, as it definitely should be. I know they have a great relationship, and this isn't anything, jaw-dropping that there's a controversy or anything like that, but Logan Thompson's going to compete for the net. There's all these murmurs about Adin Hill's contract and the fact that he got the flowers in the Stanley Cup and got to play the game, the clinching game last season and everything. But Logan Thompson is not going to just concede the net by any means. Adin Hill probably gets the start for the banner dropping game, just because, or banner raising game, pardon me, because think about what Bruce Cassidy did with starting, the misfits and the day oneers and stuff like that in game 5. So I think Adin Hill will get his moment, but after that, for the next 81 games, health pending, of course, it's going to be a competition for every single start, and that's a good thing.
And George McPhee would, of course, comment, "We don't do that here." Of course, that's what he would say. Hey, we have a new format now for overtime. Just put the 2 nets at the blue lines. I like that. And maybe
I like that. Yeah, make it a 2-on-2 drill. That would be a lot of fun, actually.
That would be fun. So, Phil Kessel, where's he going to play this season? Will he be a VGK?
The murmurs are the Wilds. That's what it kind of sounds like right now. I don't see a path to him signing here right now. I was chatting with him a little bit after the practice, just kind of on the side, and he didn't really say a whole lot about that, but I think he's got something in the works. I think he's got something happening right now. But Kessel, he was laughing about it too. He was pretty worn out, and Kessel was in midseason form. The players were out there doing laps around him in the game on Friday.
And has Max Comtois, has he made an impression early on?
I love watching Comtois. He is such a good skater. He is big. He finishes. We saw the video that I posted on Vegas Hockey Now on Wednesday, I believe, when the PTO was announced, or Tuesday, that just showed how good he is in tight to the nets. Watching him live, though, it is a much different feeling, a positive feeling. He's got the size, he's got the energy, he's got the strength. I don't see a path to him not competing at a high level for a roster spot, and I know it's, a captain skate. Obviously, this is just the boys being boys, having a good time, and playing their version of a high-level beer league hockey. Call it what it is. When the competition officially starts, which I don't think there's an official start date still for training camp announced by the Golden Knights.
It's supposed to be Thursday.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen an official press release though for that. I've been scouring. Yeah, I thought there hasn't been. They'll come around 5 o'clock. I know, Tony.
5 o'clock on Thursday night. Hey, we just had practice.
I mean, the Blue Jackets dropped the Babcock news at 4 o'clock our time. So there you go. They wanted to sweep that one under the rug nice and quickly.
Yeah, maybe on Tuesday we could talk about Babcock and old school coaches in the National Hockey League. And again, just a crazy story there.
What old school coaches are left?
Retreads. Well, I don't know. We could go through the roster there tomorrow.
Not a whole lot. The Dallas Stars, maybe. I forgot his name, but that's the first one that comes to mind. John Cooper is kind of old school. I don't know. Whatever. All right, keep going.
Pete DeBoer.
Hybrid. He's more hybrid, I think. He's in between.
Okay. Well, you said Dallas Stars.
Geez. You're okay. Yeah.
So the goalie competition did begin in earnest.
Yeah, no, it's going. It's going. There's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun watching. And I'll say this again. I've been saying it since Adin Hill got his slightly inflated, but since he got his extension days after, the Stanley Cup parade, and obviously that Larry Johnson jersey got him a couple extra pennies on that contract, so to speak. But there's going to be a good competition, and I hope for the fans' sake, I hope for the players' sake, and the organization's sake that they can both stay healthy, because I want to see what the true split is going to be next season for the 81 games following the banner raising ceremony. Remember, Logan Thompson was outpacing Adin Hill at a 2-to-1 ratio through the first 35 games or something like that. Both goalies were relatively healthy. It was 35 starts to Adin Hill's 18 starts, 35 LT. 18 Adin Hill, and it was more than 35 games, like 50 something games while they were both healthy. So I'm curious if that gap closes or if Logan still keeps the net.
Do any of the players that you saw the captain skate look ridiculously out of shape?
Ridiculously out of shape? It was so on Saturday they were doing a drill.
Other than Kessel, and he's probably not going to be.
But Kessel, he's just getting his legs under him, and Kessel, he's
the first time he's got on his skates, right?
It could be, honestly. It could be. I should have asked him about that. There was a drill at center ice that the players were doing on Saturday where they had to skate full speed to a goal that was at center ice and basically do a quick move, get as close as they could to the net, and then do a quick move. And then they had to cut as closely as they could, do a full circle around the net while possessing the puck. And then they fire the puck to the next person in line and they keep on going. And, some people like William Karlsson, he was doing it really well. He was getting low. Alec Martinez, he was doing a good job. He was having fun with it. Chandler Stevenson, Michael Amadio, he can't cut as good as the rest of the guys. He was trying, but his skating isn't, where Chandler Stevenson and stuff is. Mark Stone, I haven't mentioned his name yet. Looked really good so far. Obviously, it's non-contact, day one-ish type of drills, but Stone, initial outlook, his back looks good. He looks healthy. He's having fun. He's leading out there, and we'll see what happens when the temperature goes up this week. And obviously, once he starts taking some hits, first preseason game Sunday.
Yeah, already. There's no more Sundays off, if you're a VGK fan. And I just wanted to ask you, so do you know the schedule for the remainder of do they continue with these captain skates here every day?
I mean, they're not officially on the schedule, but about 11:30, the boys have been out there every, or at least on Friday and Saturday. I don't know about yesterday.
Good insight. Coming up next, we're talking about camp, and perhaps we're guessing it opens on Thursday because they have a very short window. It's camp and then right into exhibition games. And will Brendan Brisson be invited to the VGK camp? We'll get it. Look at that. Probably so. We'll talk about that when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's why Jace Medical offers the Jace case. The Jace case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use and gives you a peace of mind so that you are not just hoping that you have access to medication in the case of an emergency. Jace Medical makes sure that you have the medication in hand. Jace Medical is simple. They handle everything from the online evaluation to licensed pharmacy medication delivery and ongoing consultation and care. Don't get caught unprepared. Save more than $360 by getting these life-saving antibiotics with Jace Medical, plus an additional $20 off using the code LOCKEDON at checkout at jacemedical.com. That is Jace Medical, Jase, jacemedical.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDON. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick coming to you from Las Vegas, and thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. And now we are on. It is on. We are on 5 days a week as hockey has officially returned. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. So, Chris, I watched the game, the rookie game on Friday night, and the video coverage wasn't so poor.
It was good.
They traced the puck, and that was against the Ducks. And I watched that one, took a lot of notes, and I know there's a lot of attention on Brendan Brisson. We're talking about him. I was going to say we're beating a horse to death, but that would, horsey to death. And in any event, I watched him, and he scored a goal. He showed me something that I really liked, and that was a lot of patience when he scored his goal, because he waited for Jacob Demick there in front of the net, big body. He waited for him to post up, get a screen, block out the goaltender. Callie Klang. I don't make up his name. And he showed a lot of patience, and he had a nice wrister there from the right side. That's his spot. But what else did you see out there on the ice this weekend?
Starting with practice on Thursday. So on Thursday, the entire rookie team was basically out there doing a full-on practice. Friday, there's only a few skaters out there. No, I'm sorry. Friday, everyone was out there. Saturday was just a few of the rookies out there doing their thing. I noticed that Brisson was really pushing in practice. He was really looking to make things happen. He's trying very, very hard to make an impression. I got some video of a power play drill. I'm going to show this, and then I'll give you kind of some reactions about some other things that I saw. So it's a good example of Brisson doing some good things and some not so good things. His positioning for the entire 30-second clip was pretty good. He was waiting for the puck to find him for his sweet spot, so to speak, where he can get that really good one-timer or, that snipe that Tony just alluded to a few minutes ago. The other thing at the end, you see him trying to force the puck a little backhand sauce to the quarterback, if you will, of the power play. And unfortunately, it was a turnover. And I did notice in a few of the drills he was doing, it was the same thing, really trying hard to get that shot instead of making the pass, just really wanting to, score the goal. And instead of maybe passing to an open player and kind of reloading and refreshing things. So again, it's practice. We're not going to think too much into that. And practice is where you do those types of things to, push yourself a little bit harder, because in both of the games, I thought he was very solid. I didn't watch a lot of the game against the Ducks, but me and Christopher were actually both at the game on Saturday against the Sharks. And, Brisson and Cormier really were the only bright spots of that game. A couple other things happened, but focusing on Brisson for the segment here, Brisson was pushing very hard, but making the right plays, not turning the puck over, going very hard to the net. Goalie freezes the puck. Brisson's right in there. Brisson whacked at the goalie a few times right after the whistle and started some scrums out there. Brisson was definitely targeted the entire game. I don't know if it was a result of him whacking at the goalie early on, or if it was just because if you get a hit on, the top rookie on the other. Hi.
So go ahead, pick it up where you were at.
Yeah, that was interesting right there. So the last comment I was making is about Brisson basically being targeted out there. I don't know if it was a result of him, whacking up the goalie early on, or if it was more or less a result of him just being, the top rookie for the Golden Knights. And, you get a hit on the other team's rookie and it gets you noticed. But Brisson did look good in both of the games, I felt. And practice, he's pushing a little bit harder, but doing the right things in the game. So, he's doing the right things.
Yeah, he was, I think, the best VGK player on the ice on Friday night as well. From everything that I saw, he was, however, stuffed on a breakaway there, and he had a few lengths there on the nearest defender. But again, all I saw on that video that you showed us were turnovers, and he just has to be a little bit more patient. I liked him picking his spot when he did score the goal on Friday night. And we will see him invited to VGK camp on Thursday. Yeah. And I think that the way that he sounded the other day was he was like, I'll continue to build in all these preseason games. So I think he's thinking he's going to get a chance to play in some of these games in the preseason for the Golden Knights. He sounds very confident. And do you feel that he's improved in several aspects, though, of his game?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks, you can see the growth in his game. You can see the 58, 57, 50, whatever the number is, his AHL experience last season, certainly paying dividends as he comes into, his second full professional, season of his career. And there's a lot to learn in Henderson. I mean, the Silver Knights have not been a good team for the last couple of years at the expense of the long, deep runs of what the Golden Knights have been doing. So the Silver Knights definitely provide opportunity for someone to grow and learn the game. And, Brisson is one of the best players that can grow. Obviously, you have someone like Gage Quinney down there, but all due respect to Gage Quinney, I think he's maxed out as being, a high level AHL player and not, necessarily an everyday NHL type player. Where Brisson, we're just seeing him scratch the surface. And we'll see if it happens, later this season with the goal. We'll see if he makes the team out of camp, first of all. I mean, you never know. I don't know what the path exactly would be with other players' contracts and such and his contract. But all that aside, the likelihood of him getting one of the last forward roster spots, it's low, but that's okay. That means the Golden Knights got to have a deep team, number one. And number two, Brisson can learn a little bit more at the AHL level. And there's going to be opportunity at some point. We know there's going to be a million injuries with the Vegas Golden Knights. It's been that way for the last 2 years. And now this roster is another year older. So if it's not sometime early on, in the fall, in the spring, we're going to see Brendan Brisson at least make his debut. And then hopefully he'll get to stick around for a while and make tougher decisions for Coach Bruce Cassidy for the lineup.
Coming up next, we have other news and notes on the Rookie Faceoff, and we'll get to all that. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights, and follow Chris as well on Vegas Hockey Now. A lot of good and interesting notes that you have there, Chris. I'm not just kissing your butt on a Monday morning, I'm being honest. Someone told me to
shut up, Tony. Someone told me to flash to shut up, Tony.
I know.
So this is for who? I forgot. Was it Brenda? Who was? I forgot who asked us to do that.
Beth Ann.
There you go. So there you go, Beth. That's for you.
Thank you so much for doing that. That made me feel great. Good way to start the week. What were some of the impressions that you saw from the VGK Rookie Faceoff games? VGK 0-2, and they'll be playing at City National today, Monday, at 3:00 to close things out. They were 2-1 back in the 2018 Rookie Faceoff. So
the sky is falling. They lost a couple of rookie games. Oh no!
What if they go over?
Oh my God, it'd be terrible. It'd be awful if they go over.
Well, it shows you that the Silver Knights won't be very good then. Yeah.
You don't have all the Silver Knights players out here though. Like I mentioned, Gage Quinney, Caden Korzak, Miramanov. The Silver Knights, they're going to be okay. Dyson Mayo, I think, is coming back. They're going to be pretty good this year. I think from a business standpoint, the organization, Bill Foley is learning that you just can't ride the coattails of the Vegas Golden Knights. I think for people to continue to support the Henderson Silver Knights and actually show up to Dollar Loan Center. Their attendance is announced as one of the better percentages in the AHL. Small building, but they still do a good job selling tickets, but getting people to actually walk into the building and, buy that popcorn and beer and everything else that you buy, they need to win a little bit more. And I think they're going to do that this year. One player that caught my attention, at least in the practice, is Tuomas Juronen. He was our 6th round pick this year. And I just got a quick little 14-second video here. Hopefully this doesn't fry us like whatever else I did a second ago. So small sample size, and he's 18-year-old, 6th round pick. We got a long way to go till we're going to even see him have an opportunity to play at a higher level. But I liked his explosiveness. I liked his acceleration. I liked his vision once he had the puck and knowing what to do with it when he got in close. Another 6th round draft pick that the Vegas Golden Knights currently have on their roster, Captain Mark Stone. So maybe in 8 years, we'll be talking about Captain Juronen one of these days. But same breath, in Saturday's rookie game, he did not look the part. The physicality he had a hard time keeping up with. But again, he's an 18-year-old kid. He's small, going up against some bigger talent. And the Sharks obviously do have a lot better prospects than the Vegas Golden Knights do as far as a pool from a totality perspective. So, Juronen's going to need to get a little bit of time to grow.
Jesper Vikman watched him between the pipes on Saturday night. Friday night, I should say, a little bit shaky, but VGK's defense was not good early on, and there were too many mistakes and too many penalties, too many power plays for San Jose in that game early, and 3 of their 4 goals, Chris, were scored by defensemen for San Jose. They've got some really big defensemen that are offensive-minded. One player, again, I'm not trying to knock anyone here, but He just had a really poor performance on Friday night, and I was watching him, and that was Christopher Sedoff. I think that he was the one that turned the puck over that led to that first goal there for Anaheim. I said San Jose. Anaheim is what I meant. And then he closed out late on a Leo Carlson. My goodness, what a dime of a pass in front of the net as Tristan Loneau in the slot with the finish. But he made two big mistakes that were really noticeable. And again, if you're trying to make a team, that's not going to help you any. I liked the play of Joe Fleming, his physicality. He's a real physical player. He's good. I mean, he's one of those bangers and one of the guys that you need in the lineup, and perhaps he moves up the charts, I think. And Ty Cheveldayoff scored a goal, and Leighton Ahak also put in some good time, I felt, on Friday night against Anaheim. You had the chore of following the game against the Sharks.
So a couple things. One, Fleming stood out on Saturday is the same thing. I don't know about his hockey sense necessarily, but it's going to take time. But he definitely has the rat mentality. I say rat in an endearing way. Brad Marchand, the rat, obviously. Kind of that same type of vibe going on there. But so Saturday, I was kind of there. I was credentialized for the game. But I took Christopher with me. And so we didn't stay in the press box. I didn't want to, Chris, he likes cheering and having a good time. So we found a spot to sit, and we look around, and all of a sudden Joe Thornton's right behind me. Jumbo Joe Thornton, longtime San Jose Shark, Boston Bruin, Florida Panther, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then here comes all the San Jose prospects that were not playing sitting right in front of me. So I look back, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. We'll go sit over here. I realize this is your area. And the guy's like, no, you stay, have fun with us, whatever. It was, I don't know the gentleman's name, but so we were just kind of sitting there having a good time with all the Sharks people. Patrick Marleau sitting right by me. That was kind of cool. I got a moment with him actually in the elevator with Christopher. So I asked Patrick, I said, hey, my son, he plays hockey. He was actually wearing his 10U house league jersey. I said, hey, give me 5 seconds of elevator advice for my son here. So he simply tells him, work hard and have fun. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. And I tell them all the time, work hard and have fun. So the fact that Patrick Marleau spit that out right away tells me I'm telling the kids the right thing. And even one time the Silver Knights went on a power play, and we had scooted over a little bit because I didn't want to intrude the player's space. I wanted to get away from them and just give them their time to watch the game. Chris starts shaming him. He starts shaming all the prospects right in front of us. And one of I think he's a development coach, or I don't know who the other gentleman I was talking to from the Sharks was. He was laughing, and the players were kind of laughing, giving it back. So it was a priceless experience. It was a good time. We had a great time with all the Sharks personnel and prospects.
Our good friend Jordan Papirny was in net. Yeah, I think Papirny played in that game on Saturday night that Chris went to. Don't forget, coming up each and every week on Fridays, we have WTF. That's What the Friday. And of course, now we're back on 5 days a week. So definitely tune in each and every day and make sure that, especially all of you, and make sure, Chris, you're showing up in my window. Okay,
there we go. We're good. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, guys.
I'm closing.
I'm on the Tony Cordasco success internet plan here, so I heard you close this. Close this out before it happens again.
Okay, but Jordan Papirny, real fast.
Started off pretty solid, and then the wheels came off, unfortunately. But he was okay. I was busting his chops a tiny bit on Saturday morning before the game. It was just him on the ice, and I kind of stood up. He skated by. I said, hey, you got any of your bubbly? The bubbly is that soda drink that he likes, that he referenced a lot.
Yeah.
We had a light moment about that. So we
That's
talked
awesome.
For a second.
Oh, terrific. Okay.
I like Paps. He's a good dude.
We'll see you again, everyone, tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.